to the HuT philosophy, we are trying to work in multiple directions to address all the different pillars in the framework. First of all, for example, we are increasing the monitoring coverage, especially in areas not properly covered by the official networks, or in areas hard to be monitored, for example, Deep Valley in Sorrento and Amalfi Coast. Furthermore, it would be quite interesting to account for how to integrate the local knowledge. There is a lot of local knowledge from hikers, trekkers, but also volunteers of civil protection that now we are trying to integrate in our knowledge and our understanding of the process. So we are still the same. We are trying to develop and testing and applications for citizen science. Okay, so my point of view, the most important challenge should be to really understand the added value, work with the other early warning system that should be not simply working on different early warning in parallel. Okay, that is now the main challenge that we have also in Italy, where simply for each impacts we have an alert that could be more or less in contrast or could be more or less overlapped with those for the other types of the hazard that we can have over our area. So this is our main challenges, but currently we are working at different scale. That's this type of issues. We are trying to overcome this one. I suppose that first of all, the HuT framework it can support this process, okay? Because integrating human behavior, governance aspects, and science and technology can support to understand the added value, the actual benefits related to adopting, for example, a multi-hazard early warning system, and also to take into account, for example, the added value of monitoring that could be used for different aspects. For example, soil moisture could be used for as predisposing condition for landslides that in Campania region are affecting in part pyroclastic covers that have a significant antecedent condition. And on the other side, we should take into account that it would be also important for rear flooding and all the other aspects related to the flooding. So I suppose that, for example, working on monitoring or working also about the communication. Because, for example, now we have sun gaps. When information from the regional, from the national to the regional, in terms of weather forecast, after the regional to the municipal, where simple and alert is issued, and after for the municipal level up to the communities. Okay, and so in many cases, only the most important information, all those information that are considered more relevant are, for example, reported in bulletin or reported on the social media. Otherwise, the other could be not really considered important. So it could prevent an actual understanding, a proper understanding about the multi-hazard early warning system that it is also hard to distinguish in many cases. For example, in our test case between landslides and flash flood, because we are working in a small mountain basin, so where different dynamics can occur at the same time. A good thing in the project is that we are working in several outputs, okay, at the same time. So we are not focusing our attention on a single innovation that would be successful or could fail it. And so we are now trying to have a suite of disaster risk reduction innovation that will tailor the needs of the different demonstrators. So I have the feeling that when the project will end, we could have few innovation that could be more or less our label, for the future. Among these ones, now at this stage, I see, for example, the platforms to convey all the information from monitoring, modeling to support the decision makers could be one of the flagship solution. The other ones that we have discussed several times are innovative insurance products, because of course in many countries now there is a huge discussion about the insurance, how should complement the residual risk. So it could be quite interesting to complement to disaster risk reduction, and also the work related to NBS and the governance will be one of the other points, the flagship solution that we can probably be our support for future systems.